honouring its pledges, saying that they don't intend to cheat. Rana Rahimpour from BBC Persian is with me. And Rana, I mean, some really quite strong statements there. You thought some of them were really quite remarkable.
Very, very remarkable. First of all, this is a huge victory for President Rouhani, because even when he was campaigning, this was one of the top programs in his agenda. And he even referred to one of the sentences. He says that he wanted the centrifuges to be operational, but he wanted the wheels of the economy to be operational as well. And his point was that the nuclear deadlock has meant that the economy was stagnated. So he referred to that sentence, and he has spent many hours on reaching this goal. And in fact, this is one of the things that he mainly concentrated. So there are some criticism about his performance in terms of Iran's human rights, etc. But because this was on top of his agenda, and he is definitely a winner in this situation. He did refer to the 2 steps. He said that there are other steps. The first one, which it will be at the end of June, so they have 3 months to talk about the details of the agreement that they reached last night. And that's going to be a very lengthy procedure. And then he said it's after that, it's only after the implementation of those agreements that they will reach by the end of June that the sanctions will be lifted. But very wisely, he didn't mention all the details that are emerging. So not all the sanctions are going to be lifted, of course. Yesterday, President Obama made it clear as well that the sanctions that are related to Iran's terrorism activity, according to President Obama, Iran's sanctions about its human rights abuses and its ballistic missiles will remain. And President Rouhani didn't refer to those.
Now, we're just to explain to anyone just joining us, this is the Iranian foreign minister arriving back in Tehran from Lausanne after that framework deal was agreed, just showing the sense of jubilation that many Iranians feel about the fact that sanctions may eventually be ended, and the suffering that they've endured economically may at least be eased. Just talk us through what Hassan Rouhani said about Iran's nuclear intentions, why it wants to still be able to enrich uranium.
Because it has been, Iran has invested so much in its nuclear activity, and it has paid such a heavy price that it had turned into a matter of national pride. So although it's going to be largely limited, but for them it was important to keep parts of it to show that it wasn't all for nothing, because otherwise it couldn't have justified the pressure that the people felt. One highlight of his talks was the fact that he said that they have been in contact with the Supreme Leader throughout the talks, which is not surprising. Of course, the Supreme Leader is the person who's got ultimate authority. And I think that's one of the reasons we didn't see any hardline protesters at the gathering at the airport today, the greetings that you showed earlier, because I spoke with someone who was there this morning, and he said that unusually, and unlike the previous time when the interim agreement was signed, there were no hardline opposition protesters throwing shoes at Foreign Minister Zarif, which means that the mood has changed. There will be elements who will be unhappy about this deal, and Mr. Rouhani will have many months to try to convince them that this was the right thing. But overall, it means like a win-win situation.
Just finally, Rana, there at the end, he talked about things in a wider foreign relations perspective, talking about we want to improve relations with people we have good relations with already. We want to end hostilities. We want to have better relations with those with whom things are currently tense.
I think that's one of the main parts of his speech, because he is now going beyond the nuclear deadlock. He basically reached a hand towards America, because so far they've only talked about the nuclear deal. First time he spoke with an American leader was about 18 months ago, when President Obama phoned Mr. Rouhani, and I think this is a sign that they want the rest of sanctions lifted as well.
Rana, thank you very much. Rana Rahimpour, we will continue to bring you reaction